I'm going to show you how to use the production barcode system in StoneSpot. So first thing I'm going to want to do is go to Admin, and then here to QR Code Manager, and then to TV Monitor. And this is actually meant to be used on a big screen TV in your shop, but of course you can use a computer screen or whatever you happen to have available to you. So on down here, I've got a few things set up. So I've got a QR code for 3 different buckets. I've got stencil cutting, proofreading, and waiting on material. And so every bucket inside of your StoneSpot account has a QR code associated with it. And you can print these QR codes out by going to Admin, StoneSpot Settings, Production Buckets, and then there's a little icon there to print the QR code for each of the buckets. I also have a login and logout for this particular user. So everybody in your StoneSpot account also has a login and logout, just like this. And you can get to this by going to Admin My Team, and then you'll see the little QR code icon next to each of the accounts that you have inside of your StoneSpot account. So this can be printed out on paper, or it can be printed out on a plastic ID card, just whatever you think is good. A lot of times you'll want to put the login on one side of the ID card and the logout on the other side of the ID card. So we have that. We have the QR codes for each of our 3 buckets, and then I have 3 shop tickets as well. And each of the shop tickets has a QR code on it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We are going to do just what the instructions say. We're going to scan our ID badge to log in. So we'll come over here and we'll log in, and then the system is going to tell us to go ahead and scan an order. So we'll come over here and we'll scan an order, and that'll bring the order up on our system here. And you can see in the right-hand corner, this is the approved document. If there were more than one approved document, we could move between those documents using these QR codes. If we want to make the document larger, we can scan that QR code there in the middle, and that'll make it larger. If we want to make it full screen, we can click over here, and that'll make it full screen. And then we can exit full screen by clicking here. And then we can go back by clicking the center QR code. All right. So those are the approved documents there. And then these are all of the instructions that we need in order to make the memorial. So again, this view is really for your production team. And so they should be able to click on to any order just by scanning the shop ticket. And then it'll pull it up, and they can see exactly what they need to do in order to make that monument. Now, if we want to change the status, like for example, if we wanted to move this order into a different bucket, we could do that just by scanning the QR code of the bucket that we want to move on to. And then it's going to ask us to rescan in or to confirm our login, so that we know who's moving the order. So we'll go ahead and do that. And when we scan in again, it says that we've moved it into proofreading. And then we can move it within 10 seconds. If I scan any of these other buckets, the system will automatically move it as long as we're within 10 seconds. So let's try this. I'm going to scan in again. So, oops, sorry, that's blurry. And then I'm going to go ahead and move it to other buckets. And you can see, as long as it's within 10 seconds, it's going to allow you to move it into different buckets. If we wait more than 10 seconds, then we're going to need to scan our ID badge again, and then it'll move it into that bucket. The reason why we do this is we want to keep track of who is moving the order to buckets, so that we can basically say, oh, so-and-so moved this order on such and such date at such and such time into this bucket. All right, so let me show you a little trick. If for example, you've got a lot of orders that you need to move into another bucket, you can do that just by double scanning on the bucket QR code. So once and now twice. Oops, let's log in again, sorry. All right, now we're gonna go ahead and double scan, and that's gonna change us to this screen, and you can see we've got 15 seconds, and we can scan as many as we want. Every time we scan, it's gonna reset that 15 seconds. And now we've moved all 3 of these orders down here into waiting on material. So that's just a little trick that you can use if you have a lot of orders that you need to move into another bucket. All right, now we can log out of the system just by scanning the logout QR code, and that'll bring us back to the scan in screen.